Hi guys, welcome, and if you're new here, my name is Elaine, and on my channel I like to talk about bags from mid-range to vintage luxury. And today I have another bag that I've rented from Switch. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I purchased a Switch membership for $200, $220 a month. I'm currently on month 2, and so just a quick note on that, I think I was able to rent like at least 5 bags in a month. But anyways, one of the reasons why I like Switch is because they do have some unusual Hermes bags to rent. So I did rent the Verot bag, which is the bathroom lock bag. This was not available at that time, and then this just popped up this week. So I was like, I definitely want to try it. I've always been curious about the Dalvy. So this is a Dalby, I think this is a 30. Yeah, Dalvy 30. And this one is in Courchevel leather, in the color gold with contrast stitching and palladium hardware. I do have my Kelly 28 here for comparison. So as you can see, the Dalvy is just a couple centimeters longer, and that makes it a Dalvy 30. And it's pretty much, I mean, it's also a little bit taller than the Kelly, but very similar type of style, a top handle. Well, at least the Kelly you can do a crossbody strap. Dalvy, you will not be able to do that. And I would say the handle drop is maybe just a little bit more on the Dalvy, but it's not enough to really put on your arm. It is just a top handle or crook of the arm bag only. As you can see, it has the Clos de Sel front clasp that you will see like on the Doggone wallet or some other things. Actually, there is the current, I would say the modern version of this is the Tablier Cellier, which has been out for maybe about 2 years now, and it is very much like this bag. It has the same Clos de Sel clasp, and it sort of also has this bowling bag looking shape, except the Tablier Cellier is more of an east-west version of it. This, I would say, is more of a north-south version. The Dalvy came out right around 1996, so these are late 90s. I think production stopped around early 2000s. I don't think they had a very long run. As you can see, you pull up the tab and then you can open it. Inside, there is one flat pocket here, and there's another 2 on this side. It looks like it is lined in chev leather. It is quite structured, so each panel here is quite thick and structured, and then these gussets here are the flexible portions of the bag. It does have feet, and you know, for the most part, sort of like her bag, you know, it doesn't need to be clasped to stay closed. It kind of just hooks on to the clasp, the Clos de Sel clasp here, and just kind of manages to stay on. Of course, you do have a little bit of this hanging out, but yeah, for the most part, if I were to carry it, I would carry it like this. It is quite heavy though, so honestly, I kind of knew I would never buy the Dalvy because I'm just not a top handle only kind of gal. I definitely need some sort of shoulder strap. And so there's really no place to add a shoulder strap on the Dalvy. There's no like D-rings, there's nothing like that. So I also have my Plume 28 Elan, and this is in Epsom. So this is in gold Epsom, and so that I wanted to show you sort of the difference between Epsom and Courchevel. Courchevel, the graining is a little bit bigger, but also just the way the gold kind of takes to it, like vintage Epsom will start looking orange. A Courchevel gold usually does not turn orange. It's definitely more of that brown tan color. I would say texture wise, very similar, and Courchevel is the precursor to Epsom. So they're pretty much the same, but with just very slight differences. So getting into the actual bag itself, I do notice like wear and tear wise, this strip here has definitely seen better days. Also the corners here, because it's such a stiff, heavy bag, these corners with the Courchevel leather is going to wear, and the only way to fix that is to repaint it. And talking about painting, it does feel like they possibly have painted the handles at some point already, because it feels like there's a thick layer of something. I mean, it could just be from use, where it's smoothed down to the point where you can't really see the grain of the Courchevel, or it could be, you know, some paint touch-ups, especially since the handles are where it's going to get the grossest and the darkest. Inside is actually very spotless. Let's just weigh it because, like I said, it's very heavy. All right, so it's 1 pound, 12 ounces. That's almost 2 pounds empty, you know, 4 ounces short of 2 pounds. So 2 pounds on this one little handle. Yeah, it would not be my favorite. And then let's see what fits. So currently using right now is the Row Astra bag. This is the smaller size, not the Row Astra bowling bag. Essentials, little Zumoni felt organizer of all the little tidbits that I need. All right, so that fits. Sunglasses, mini mom pouch, sunscreen, tissue, and Calvi card case, which is what I'm using right now. So this is what it looks like with just my essentials. And then let's see if a water bottle fits. Okay. So if you were to do a water bottle, you wouldn't be able to close it. It would kind of look like the Amazona 180. You know, it's just hanging out. How would this look? Ta-da! I mean, honestly, not my favorite bag, but you know, won't really tip over. It's actually quite snug in there. Oh, it's heavy. All right, so take out the water bottle and let's just say I put my planner in instead. Let's see. All right, I think that will fit. Yes. So as you can see, I do have like the tissue all the way at the top here, and it still will close. But it won't hook up, right? Okay, so now I know it'll close, but you will need to close the full clasp. Yeah, you will have to close it through the clasp to be able to keep it closed. Otherwise, with all the stuff inside. Ooh, and it's actually really hard to close with all this stuff in here. Definitely a finicky clasp. And part of it is because this strip of leather is so worn, there's no sort of stiffness. Like you're trying to smush this squishy thing in here and it's not working. So anyways, and then if you don't close it, you are gonna leave it open. I mean, it kind of gives me Dior Segal vibes, you know, except doesn't have like the flap covering your stuff. But yeah, that's sort of what it looks like to me. Ooh, my arm's already tired from all this. So yeah, definitely not a bag for my collection. A note for Switch is that, you know, eventually this bag will need to go to the Hermes spa and they will need to replace this tab because especially when this bag is full, it's pretty useless. Oh, there, I got it. Almost. Ugh. Do you see what I mean? And then I guess I have to, yeah, that's too much struggling for me personally. I can't handle that. As cute and as ladylike as this bag is, I already know it's definitely not for me. I would not be buying this bag. Give me a Kelly any day over this. I just is not a fan. Anyways, that's it for this review. Let me know if you have any questions about the bag. I will be returning it probably tomorrow. So, you know, anything I answer will have to be from memory, but pretty straightforward bag. If you like this video, I kindly ask that you consider hitting the thumbs up button down below or possibly subscribing, especially if you've seen any of my other videos in the past. You know, it really helps support this channel. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.